Hello.
Hello there. We are back. It is Friday. I'm ready for the weekend.
Same.
We watched some long movies this week,
I think
and
essentially we watched two pretty short movies and one very long movie.
I think the one very long was so long, it really skewed the averages for us.
It did, because the first two movies we watched, the episodes of Love Island we watched were longer than that.
Oh yes, we're in full Love Island mode. I
Of
am
course.
I am all the way in. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Unsincere is by far my least favorite.
And why do you call him unsincere instead
Just
of insincere?
just look at what he does and you'll get it pretty quickly. And you're right, you can see the one brain cell just kind of bouncing back and forth when he's leading girls on.
Coming up with those metaphors.
I don't think it's fair to call those metaphors.
That's fair.
I'm getting angry. I'm going to start a fight.
I know you're excited to see Sincere tonight.
To see him get kicked off? Yeah, hopefully.
He's not getting kicked off. They did a kickoff yesterday.
Every day, baby.
He got to kick Soul off, which
What
infuriated me.
an injustice. What a crime that we witnessed. I was furious.
Absolutely furious. Now, when I hear the word sincere,
Oh, it's ruined forever.
I'm gonna be triggered.
That name's done for at least a generation. Thank you, Love Island. Thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone with that name. And when I first heard it on there, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And yeah, now it's ruined.
No, I heard it and thought, I know immediately how this is going to go.
I just think
I'm too
it's
jaded.
really obvious that the guy named Sincere is going to be anything but. But now that we've ranted about how much we hate Sincere on Love Island.
I had to get fired up for the real watch of this week.
Well, the first movie that we watched was our new release. It was called Erupcja, and it starred Charlie XCX, and that was kind of the reason why we picked it. Oh, Charlie XCX in kind of this weird, toxic, sort of homoerotic relationship going on.
Yeah, a European, I don't know, based movie with a weird title. What's not to love?
And they were in Poland, in Warsaw. I don't think I've seen many Polish films.
No. I think the only time we've recently even seen Poland portrayed, as it should be more often, was what was that Kieran Culkin movie that he won the?
Oh, A Real Pain.
A Real
That's
Pain,
right.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were in Poland.
But other than that, I was glad to see it showcased. It's a very beautiful city.
Look, I've never been, so I can't say for sure, but it seemed this movie was portraying more of a normal person Warsaw instead
Sure.
of the idealized. Because in A Real Pain, they're going around Poland, they're tourists.
Yes, this is not touristy at all.
Because even though Charlie is on a trip with her boyfriend, who she does not like,
No.
she's been there.
I think they said 5 times, 5 or 6.
Yeah, intermittently.
The
Seems
city,
like she's maybe lived there for short spurts of time.
the city is sort of a character in this story.
It is.
I found that
I
interesting.
liked that.
Not the main character, but it was definitely a big part. But yes, Charlie is here with her boyfriend, who's completely oblivious to how much she's not into their relationship and is planning to propose. Bro does not have a good time.
Well, we knew her disinterest was going to remain the second he walked into the bathroom while she was in there, put the toilet seat down, and starts peeing while she's in there.
I know that's fine for some couples,
We
but
don't do that.
that's icky. Don't do
If
that.
I'm in the bathroom, the door is going to be closed and locked, and there is going to be no one else in there. I don't like that.
I will hold the door. No one's getting in. But yes, this is... She's just going to be Charlie. I don't even remember her character's name.
Bethany.
Charlie is back in the city. She suggested that they travel to Warsaw because I think her boyfriend originally wanted them to go to Paris because she is expecting or suspecting a proposal soon.
Yes, and the ring is ugly.
Oh, yeah. It's like his grandmother's ring. He's trying to be super sweet about it. And it's just like, it looks like a penny that's been run over by too many cars.
It feels to me, too, like they haven't had a full conversation about this. And I think it is
No.
crazy work to propose to someone when you haven't even talked about marriage. You need to have a conversation about that first.
I really do think like maybe movies have ruined us a little bit on that and taught us like a whole generation of kids like, oh, it's fine in a relationship to really surprise your partner with a major life decision like that.
Because that's romantic. I would have been mad.
You gotta like really know. And then at the same time, your gal wants to be like ready.
Yeah, I think you can make exactly when, like what day and what event you do it. I think that can still be a surprise, but you still need to have had a conversation with the person saying, hey, we're gonna do this, right? Yeah, okay, cool. And also, I think she should be able to pick her ring. I picked my ring, and it's the coolest ring ever. This ring, it was ugly. Even if you want to be sentimental about it, you can maybe refurbish it.
I agree.
How do you
I
know it's
agree.
even going to be her size? You have to go get sized for those.
Yeah, can you resize old rings like that? I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
But bro, she's just not that into you. It's not your fault, really. You knew you overshot when you landed Charlie.
Yeah.
Because bro looks like me.
Didn't they say they'd only been together a year or something like that?
Oh,
too?
did they? I missed that.
They were living together. Maybe they were only living together a year. I don't know.
But yes, we find out soon that Charlie has gone back to Poland because she has unresolved feelings. That or maybe just wants to reconnect with her. Was it just her friend or her ex?
So, what I got from it was they were friends, but really codependent friends
Okay.
who I think there was something there, even if nothing ever happened.
Lingering feelings.
There was the possibility of something happening,
And so Warsaw and this girl here is Charlie's like escape, I guess maybe?
Well, because
Safe haven?
toward the end of the movie, they establish,
Safe
yeah,
space.
she wants to go to Warsaw instead of Paris because every time she goes to Warsaw, a volcano erupts.
That's right, yeah.
And when a volcano erupts, it gives her permission to kind of go on a bender or like not take anyone else into consideration.
I'm just going to do whatever I want.
And she would do that with her friend Nell. And Nell says, yeah, we'd go and party and do drugs and cheat on our partners. And we don't have to worry about it because the volcano erupted. It's what we're supposed to do.
They're enablers.
They are enablers, absolutely. They're better off not with each other.
But yes, they spend most of the movie after reconnecting just going around and having a good time and going to parties. The boyfriend tries to come along to one and he gets abandoned at this party. He doesn't know anyone here. I'd feel terrible.
He could have gone with her.
That's true.
He didn't really follow her. Like, he could have gone over to the conversation. They were with multiple people.
Yeah, bro didn't even try. That's fair.
He didn't try. And then he left the party because he got kind of mad and he needed to clear his head. But then when she goes missing, he's calling her back saying, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I feel like it was okay that he needed to step out and take a little
Sure.
breather. I don't even think she noticed he took a little breather.
Like I said, she abandons him immediately.
He's someone who doesn't really know her.
Yeah,
knows
not
this
really.
idealized version of her that he's made up in his head. He wants to take her to Paris. He wants to take her to Michelin star restaurants. She doesn't care about that stuff. She wants to be in the city and go to the artsy party and go to clubs and hang out with her friend. And these two people just don't seem very compatible.
No, not at all.
Because neither one of those things are bad, but yeah, if you're gonna get married, it's just not. I don't think that's gonna work out in the long term.
Try dating longer. How about that?
Yeah.
I think, again, bro realized, he's like, wow, this girl really took a chance on me. I gotta lock this down quick.
Yeah.
Respect the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a fine little movie. I mistook this for the fictionalized version of Charlie's like concerts movie that she has coming out as well.
Oh no, that already came out. That was called The Moment.
The Moment. So I was expecting having to have a lot more fun with this movie. It's not bad. Was I as entertained as I thought I could be? Not really.
It's definitely a slower indie movie, but what was it? Like an hour and 10 minutes?
Yeah, not bad at all.
So it doesn't overstay its welcome. I knew it was going to be a slower indie movie, but I did think it was going to be more of a romance between the two women, and that subtext was absolutely there.
Sure.
It wasn't glossed over, I would say, but that's not really what this was. It was more about toxic friendship as opposed to anything else.
I agree. Good observation.
It's a little bit like, to a less dark degree, of course, but we watched Richard Gadd's Half Man.
Mm-hmm.
Feels a little like that.
Yes, it's like these two particular people, whenever they get together, just a little bit of chaos ensues.
And there's something that's drawing them together. When they're together, they're so enmeshed. It's like they're one person.
Yes.
Nell, even, she's trying to get back together with this girl she really likes. And she completely blows her off because she's busy with Bethany. She doesn't even purposefully blow this woman off. She just doesn't even remember because no one else is crossing her mind but Bethany.
Yeah, very engrossed. That's interesting.
And that's when they're around each other for just a couple of days. How do you think that went when she was stuck there for weeks?
Even more fun. Not a bad little movie, like I said.
No, I thought it was good. I thought the acting was really great.
Yeah, good to see Charlie doing some acting, and she's doing that more and more, I think.
Yeah, I know that Charlie is a film buff.
Yes, that's
I
cool.
enjoy her TikTok and her letterbox where she talks about movies. And she, from what I've seen, likes a movie like this.
Sure. Now for that, I'd say I'd give this movie, it's pretty average to me. I'll say 77.
I did think this movie was unique in what it was portraying. I thought the cinematography was really great.
Mm-hmm.
All of the colors. I mean, you get the club by lighting. I love some by lighting. And I did think it was cool how we would cut to the erupting volcanoes, and at the end the boyfriend says, I looked it up, a volcano erupts almost every day.
Yes, somewhere in the world.
Because Nell and Bethany think that their relationship is so special and that they're so attached that whenever they're together, a volcano has to erupt, when one probably does every day.
They're making this little self-fulfilling reasoning for them to, again, they're enabling their own kind of self-destructive behaviors, or I wouldn't say self-sabotaging, because like you said, sometimes they're so engrossed with one another and they're not aware that they're neglecting their other relationships.
Yeah, they're unintentionally hurting other people in the process, and by the end of the movie, they do realize maybe we're better off apart. Charlie breaks up with that guy, and Nell goes on a date with the girl she had been, wanting to be a little more official with at the beginning of the movie. And overall, I do think it was a positive ending for all of the characters, even if our two leads aren't going to be together anymore. Maybe that's not what's best for them.
It certainly did not seem like that.
Similar themes to the movie we watched, Touch Me.
Sure.
That was also very much about a toxic friendship, except those two weren't as sexually enmeshed with each other as these two.
Fair enough.
So you gave it a 75.
77.
77. I'm going to give this an 83.
All right, not bad.
I did enjoy it quite a bit, and it was short.
That did help my score a little bit. Yeah, it was short.
If this had drawn on for 3 hours like some movies try to do, Hour 10?
Oh, we'll get
yeah.
into that.
Oh, yeah. And
worth the hype.
Rotten Tomato score
I
is...
would say worth the hype, but yeah, what's that score?
You gotta base it on the score.
I'm already going in.
It has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, you called it.
I would say worth the hype exactly for me.
Nice job. All right, number 2.
So next we watched Hangin' with the Homeboys.
I'd never heard of this movie
I had
before.
never heard of this movie before either. I did take a look at the synopsis and the poster before we watched. I said, oh, that's John Leguizamo. I like John Leguizamo.
Yeah, me too. He's a good actor.
He is. He's very good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You figured out he's 30.
It's about 30 there, I
Playing
believe.
a little 20-year-old. He looks like a baby here. I was looking up the director of this movie. I'd never heard of him. Joseph B. Vasquez.
Yeah.
He made this movie, worked on a few others, even had a Hangin' with the Homegirls in the works that he was planning on doing, but unfortunately died really young
Yeah,
due
tragic.
to AIDS. So
Very tragic.
fuck you, Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Always and forever.
Yeah, but that made me really sad because I thought this movie was quite good and very ahead of its time. And I would have loved to see what work Joseph Vasquez would have done later in his career. What would he be making today?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I really enjoyed, as you said, the, I guess, kind of progressiveness in this movie. Or specifically, what I really enjoyed is the characters, they don't always get along with one another, our four leads. But when they're making arguments with one another, they end up making pretty good arguments. And I appreciate a good argument in a movie.
Yes. And
That's why I love a good courtroom scene.
I was worried that this movie was just going to be your typical bros hanging out. I mean, it's called Hangin' with the Homeboys.
Oh, yeah, I figured they're going to be just going around doing goofy shit the whole time.
Yeah, I thought they'd be running around, you're right, being idiots, being, maybe some offensive, outdated humor, some sexism. Even when the characters do or say something that isn't great, the movie doesn't think it's good or funny. The movie's making a point about it.
It is. It calls out a lot of bad behavior where otherwise you might expect it, even in a similar movie from that era, to just kind of be normalized or overlooked.
And the fact that this came out in 1991,
I know, right?
it is so ahead of its time. It felt like a movie that you would see today as a period piece, of course, because the style and New York and everything is very 1991. But I like that. There's charm to that.
It had so many life lessons. It felt like if Degrassi Junior High had a movie
Yeah.
and John had been a character from that show.
So yeah, we open up, we've got these four friends. Well, the first thing we see them doing is,
They do a little skit on the subway.
yeah,
They fake a fight.
they do fake a fight, and you could tell they're faking this fight in front of uppity looking white people.
Yeah, maybe tourists or something also.
The things that they're saying at first, you're like, man, these are a lot of real stereotypes.
There's a lot of racial overtones in this.
Is this trying to be a stereotypical, like they're in a gang? No, they're completely joking, just trying to freak out these white people.
Yeah, get a rile out of folks.
They're playing on their assumptions about them due to their race, And every time in this movie, you think something's gonna go in a direction of, don't know if that's great. It really does pivot.
Absolutely.
And I loved that. We have Will, who he's got his buttons.
He loves his buttons.
He thinks of himself as an activist.
Yes, that makes sense. I wasn't sure what those were for when I first saw them.
I think they were like Black Power, stuff like that.
Okay.
You see him trying to keep his welfare checks.
Yeah.
And for a little while, every time someone pushes back on him, he says, oh, is it because I'm black? It seems like the movie at first is portraying him as, oh, he's just using that as an excuse for everything. But then you really see actual instances where, yeah, that is happening to him a lot just because he's black. he is getting pushback on things. Maybe not in that specific situation, but he
A
does
lot.
quite a few times. He gets thrown out of the party.
He's pretty
They won't let him in
agitated.
the club.
He's pretty agitated throughout the whole movie.
He's a very agitated person. I really loved that scene where they meet up with some girls and it's two girls. They're like hanging out and he goes up to one of them and says, "Why are you hanging out with this white girl and dressing in these white clothes and going to these white places?" He essentially calls her a female Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
And she says, "No, you know what? You're fake. Do you even vote?" That got me.
I love that.
It's like,
yeah.
do you go to protests? Do you sign petitions? Do you even vote?
Do you do any activism?
And you have the audacity to tell me that I'm not doing anything for Black people, that I'm being too white.
Called him out pretty good.
And I thought that was great because even when you are seeing how racism is affecting this guy, he's still, getting his lessons where he's wrong as well.
None of our main characters are perfect, guys.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Even the nicest one, Johnny, he works at a bodega and he keeps seeing this girl come in. He says he likes her because she seems innocent and virginal.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got that from.
He was just deluding himself about this gal the whole time.
Absolutely. He just thought she was attractive and put all of his expectations on her.
I think they maybe got on a first name basis and he was convinced that meant she loved him.
Yeah, because she said, "Maybe I'll call you.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hang out." Like they were getting somewhere. But then he winds up, they go into the sex shop to watch the porn videos. She's in one. And even the way that some of the other guys talked about her, because Johnny was a little upset, and they say, "You know what? She was making money."
Absolutely. It's turning his whole world upside down, and his friends are like, you know what? Whatever.
Like the movie never shamed her for being a sex worker.
No, not at all.
It was really framed as, no, Johnny's wrong for this. And then when he sees her at the club later and she's dancing with one of his friends, because she doesn't know these people,
Yeah.
he gets in a fight and gets really mad. And it's the last time we see her, but she looks at him. She's like, "What are you doing? You don't own me."
Exactly.
I was not expecting something like that from a 1991 movie. Even the woman who the whole time was the object of Johnny's affection.
Has agency.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, ahead of its time. I liked a lot of the issues that were portrayed and how they were handled.
So we've talked about Will, Johnny. There's Tom, the actor, who has a car and seems to have the money and
the most
in this
stable life.
friendship. And then there is Fernando,
Slash
aka
Vinny.
Vinny, this Puerto Rican guy who they are all like, he just wants to be Italian.
Trying his best to act like a wise guy. And is a ladies' man. Yes, gets him in a lot of trouble.
He doesn't have a job. He just mooches off of women.
Yes, he has a whole fridge stocked of meals that his various girlfriends will drop off to him.
And then he is, of course, catcalling. He won't leave women alone. He's terrible.
I don't know why the other three were friends with him at all.
Yeah, it seemed like he was maybe mostly friends with,
Tom.
yeah, Tom and Will, but then Johnny's Will's best friend. And
Right. Maybe the
So-
new one in the group.
yeah, so they're all kind of hanging out because Johnny's 20 and all these other guys, they talk about,
Mid-20s, 30s.
yeah, they've been to college. They're a little older, but not super old or anything. Yeah. Yeah, probably 20s, 30s.
So we get a lot of their misadventures through, I think they start out in the Bronx and then make their way to Manhattan.
Yes.
They crash the car at some point. That scene was funny.
Because they keep drinking and driving.
Yeah, the driver was saying after one of their stops, he's going, yeah, I've had 3 or 4 already, and gets back into the driver's seat and he cracks another one.
I thought this movie, being 1991 and all, was going to gloss over drinking and driving. No, Johnny is there. He says, "Don't give him that beer. You can't drink and drive."
Yeah, he makes a big deal out of it, which I appreciated. Again, these characters are deeply flawed, but they're not afraid to call out each other's bad behavior. I appreciated that this movie wasn't too long as well.
It wasn't. It was about an hour and a half. I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I was going to care for it that much, too, because a male centered hangout movie does not sound like my idea of a good time.
Sure. I thought it was going to be goofier than it was.
I did too. The premise reminded me, and this, of course, came out beforehand, but of Harold and Kumar a little bit.
Exactly.
So I agree. I thought it was going to be a goofy kind of frat boy humor comedy, and it wasn't at all. It was really, really good. I
Yeah,
really
poignant.
enjoyed this movie.
Y'all, if you want to watch some good breakdowns of toxic masculinity, give this a watch.
Absolutely. And like I said before, it is so ahead of its
It's
time.
not afraid to tackle a wide variety of social issues.
I am so sad we never got Hangin' with the Homegirls.
Yeah, what could have been?
But I'm gonna give this movie a 90%.
90%, not bad. It's our number of the night, but I had this in mind already. I'm going to give this an 83.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, 93%.
Not bad.
So 93, I'm gonna say that's worth the hype. This movie's excellent.
I agree. Give it a watch.
It did really well at the Independent Spirit Awards, got a
Sure.
lot of nominations. It won the Screenwriting Award at the Sundance Film Festival.
Hey, well deserved.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a really good screenplay.
Thumbs up, give it a watch. You worth that hype. And it had a great soundtrack to boot.
It did. I've had that Hangin' with the Homeboys song stuck in my head
Oh,
all week.
I've been listening to some Def Leppard after that.
And our final movie,
Our marathon for the week.
again from the 1991 Wikipedia list, but this was a re-release.
Lots of re-releases for some like 40, 50 anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. This one was 1960s Spartacus,
Spartacus.
directed by Stanley Kubrick.
I'm Spartacus.
I am Spartacus. I've never seen this movie before.
Yeah, I've heard it referenced so many times.
It wasn't really my thing. I just could not get over Kirk Douglas was wildly miscast as Spartacus.
Oh, he's so out of place.
And then looking up more about the production, he got the rights with his studio and he's the one who got this movie off the ground. He was the boss. Of
Yeah.
course he played the lead role.
What was it? He was like the head of the production company making the movies. So,
Yes.
of course, he's thinking it's a great idea. I'm going to cast myself as the main character.
Well, he
And
did
then
it.
phoned in the whole thing.
He did it because he was offended that he didn't get the lead role in Ben-Hur that was from the year before.
And he thought, I'll show you. Watch this.
He even refers to his motivations as childish. And I totally understand why he wasn't cast in Ben-Hur, because he looks like the most middle-aged American man I've ever seen, and it just does not fit in this world.
Not at all. His New York accent's coming out every so often. It just seemed wildly out of place.
Really terrible performance.
The supporting cast was not as bad at all.
No, I didn't have a problem with anyone else, just Kirk Douglas. In fact, I was obsessed with Laurence Olivier in
He was
this movie.
great. He was great.
Phenomenal. I don't always connect with the Hays Code era acting style,
Sure.
but Laurence Olivier, you can see the subtext in his face. He's got gravitas,
Mm-hmm.
but it never feels like he is phoning something in.
He played a really good Crassus.
He was fantastic. Every time he had a scene, I was so intrigued.
It was much more interesting than anything that Kirk Douglas was doing the whole movie.
Yeah, and then they cut back to Kirk Douglas, and I was like, I'm bored again.
Just bumbling around. Doing a lot of his own stunts, it looked like, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I swear one of those stuntmen got hurt and they kept it in the scene. Do you remember kind of early on they're having that fight in the soup kitchen?
Yeah.
And that one guy that Kirk Douglas is fighting, you could see his eye starts like pouring blood like right towards the end of a scene. Then he bonks his head on the side of a pot when he's like getting fake drowned. It was a
Look,
fun time.
I don't think Stanley Kubrick is known for having the safest sets.
This did not appear to be a very safe set to me. I
No.
worried for a lot of the animals.
I don't think animals were treated very well on sets
And
in
there
these
were
days.
quite a few animals, and this is a large scale movie.
The children probably weren't either.
No.
You know what? I'm going to say the women weren't treated well. And you know what? The men probably weren't treated well either.
An all around bad time. That's Spartacus for you.
I remember seeing, and I didn't remember this was from Spartacus, but back when I was in school, I watched the documentary The Celluloid Closet,
Right.
and they talked about the Laurence Olivier scene where he is saying with the snails or the
Yeah,
oysters.
they're in a bath scene. It's like Antonius, was that the guy's name?
I don't know anyone's name except Spartacus.
With Olivier and
It was Jamie Lee Curtis's dad.
oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, they're in the bathhouse, and Laurence Olivier says some people like to eat oysters and some people like to eat snails, but some people say that eating snails is bad, but I don't think it's bad. I just think it's a matter of personal preference. That scene came on. I just had flashbacks of this documentary
Sure, that's
saying
fun.
that's the gay subtext. They couldn't make it text because of the Hays Code.
Yeah.
I always think that stuff is interesting.
I like movies that have some lore behind them.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And then I still think you see those filmmaking choices in practice today.
Sure.
Yeah, you get a lot of things in this era implied without being too overt about them because, well, a lot of fascists were saying what you could and couldn't put in a movie.
Absolutely. This movie, I think, sort of suffers from the same thing that Braveheart does, in that there's so little known about the life and the exact events of the main character, that the movie makers are forced just to kind of make it up. So sometimes it feels just sort of disjointed. They're trying to give it a sort of historical background, but that's all over the place and wildly inaccurate in areas. It certainly was impressive how many like extras and having marching armies to scale and all the different layers they were portraying in this kind of Roman world at the time was very interesting.
I liked the rolling, flaming things in the
Oh,
battle.
that was ridiculous.
I liked when they tried to stab the slave owners with the gates.
Oh yeah, they tear down a spiked like fencing and like ram it into people. That was badass.
I was a little surprised by how much violence they were able to get away with considering the Hays Code stuff.
Quite a lot. Kirk Douglas hacks a guy's arm off.
I do think this movie was a big part of stripping away some of that stuff.
Sure.
I don't believe the Hays Code would end until maybe 68.
Okay.
For example, Dalton Trumbo had been blacklisted because, oh no, he's part of the American Communist Party and we can't have free political thought here.
Oh no, not here.
And so he was writing under a pen name for a while, but this was his comeback under his name. And that was cool that,
Some good came out of this.
yeah, they were adamant about keeping his name there instead of using a pen name. And I was reading the Wikipedia page. It seems like a lot of people and, you know, decency, morality groups, whatever, religious organizations
Uh-huh.
had a problem with this movie and they
Really?
were protesting it.
Oh, really?
But what brought a lot of people around on it was JFK crossed a picket line and went in to watch the movie.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he walked right past the morality police and said, no.
Good for him.
So I do think this movie at least got the ball rolling on stripping away a lot of that nonsense.
But yes, unfortunately, Kirk Douglas, his whole love interest thing,
I didn't care about
is
any of
his.
that.
I don't know. It looked like he was trying to act through mud. It was just sloppy and slow, and he just kind of looked lost sometimes.
Was he drunk the whole time?
He may have been drunk in quite a few scenes. I don't know. I'm assuming everyone was smoking like a chimney at the time.
Because I was wondering that at the beginning of the movie. I thought maybe he's, I don't know, 35, and he just looks like that because
Yeah.
they're all smoking and drinking and being exposed to asbestos and lead paint and all
And as
that shit.
far as we know, Spartacus was probably in his 30s.
But when you looked it up, didn't you say he was pushing 50?
I think so. He, I feel like, was too old to really portray this character, especially like a gladiator with these big fight scenes. I would have liked the guy that they had actually cast as a younger Julius Caesar had been Spartacus.
Hmm. Or Tony Curtis.
Or Tony Curtis,
I
absolutely.
would have done Tony Curtis, and then you make the Tony Curtis character a really young looking dude.
Sure.
Like some dude who looks 16 but is 20, a la John Leguizamo
Yeah,
in
honestly.
Hanging with the Homeboys.
Honestly.
I mean, look, it would be icky, but that's the point. It would add a lot more layers to all of this and the motivations as opposed to this, I don't know, 30 some year old man who they were trying to play off as this. I'm just an innocent little songbird boy. You're like 35.
Right.
I mean, you're still being forced to do things against your will, which is awful, but it was the way that, like, Kirk Douglas was treating him like he was a little kid, you
It
know?
was weird. I agree.
And it just felt mismatched for the ages. Ideally, who I would have cast as Spartacus, but they didn't have the balls to do this. Sidney Poitier, come on now.
You were right, 100%.
That's a Spartacus.
That
He
would
would
have
have
been a
been in
fantastic
his
movie.
30s.
Yeah, it would have fit, I think.
Yeah.
What could have been. But unfortunately, what we're left with is this big 3+ hour long just slop of a movie. It's like the action scenes are, I guess, fairly well done. They do some decent world building. And it's a movie about slavery. It's supposed to make you feel icky every once in a while.
I think a big problem here was Kirk Douglas didn't want to look vulnerable or like he was being.
Oh no, he's perfect the whole time.
It's maybe he didn't want to lose because he's playing a slave and that's obviously horrible, but you never see him.
Question himself or have doubts that much.
It's like he didn't want to go into the movie and have any, I don't know, fights where he lost or have anyone one-upping him a little too much, even though if you had had moments like that at the beginning of the movie, the character progression to the end would have been a lot more interesting.
For sure. We were speculating, we think Gladiator probably took a lot of inspiration from this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And I could see it for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, this certainly was not my favorite movie of the week. I was looking at my phone a lot of the time. It really drags. And again, I think this suffers from like, dude, if you're going to make a movie based on a historical event, but there's so few scant details, you can't stretch that into a big, epic 3 hour long movie. It doesn't work. It doesn't translate.
I just think Kirk Douglas didn't translate. All I cared about was Laurence Olivier.
We'll make a fan edit of just his parts. Great movie.
It would still
Still
probably
out
be
like
a
an hour.
full-length movie based on how long this thing was.
But yeah, I'm glad we're done with that. We got to watch the famous "I am Spartacus" scene, and that's it. I have no need to watch that ever again.
No.
It's not the worst movie of all time. I'm sure plenty of folks still like it, and I can understand if it's seen as like a classic movie.
It was really giving the 10 Commandments,
It is, yeah.
which I also didn't care for a ton.
Same thing I got from like Cleopatra, where it's big and shiny and huge, but it's just shallow. It's paper thin.
Yes, the story is shallow, you're right.
These movies were definitely not made by creators or writers who really knew or appreciated the history they're trying to portray. That's such a shame.
No, I guess in Cleopatra, at least the acting was good.
Yeah, it was a lot better.
And look, I don't think any of the acting was bad here except for Kirk Douglas, but he's literally Spartacus. So it just ruined the whole movie
Yeah,
for me.
it brings it down so badly. Like you said, the rest of the supporting cast is pretty dang good all in all. I thought the gal playing his wife was meh.
She had nothing to do. She had no
No.
character.
Stand there, make some doughy eyes, and that's it.
I would give Spartacus You know, for Laurence Olivier, I'm going to put this at a 50. It would be lower without his bits.
Fair enough. Let's see. This movie came out in what, 1960?
1960.
I'll give it a 60 then. Thumbs down, y'all.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 93%.
Ew.
That is wildly overhyped. No.
This movie, I'm sure it blew some minds when it first came out.
Oh, yeah,
And
for sure.
now it just has that mythology behind it to where maybe audiences nowadays could watch it and think like, I need to watch this. It's a classic. In the same way you might say like, oh, I need to watch like The Godfather or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I would say no problem skipping this one.
Yeah, and if you're a big Kubrick fan, there's way better Kubrick
Sure.
movies than this. I don't
Hey,
even think he acknowledged this movie much when he was alive.
if you want to have something on for background noise while you're sleeping or like working or something, go for it.
And
Sure.
you can turn your head and be engaged when Laurence Olivier is on screen.
The subtext was there. You're right.
It was all there. And he knew what he was doing. Great, great actor.
But yeah, Spartacus, not worth the hype.
No.
You lost, bro. Get over it.
Yeah, no, not for me. And that was our weekend movies.
Not too bad.
If I am ranking them, I'm going to say Hangin' with the Homeboys, Erupcja, and then Spartacus.
I'm going to match yours 100%.
Yeah, that feels like the obvious ranking to me. The only movie I didn't like, though, was Spartacus. I liked the other two movies.
It was another week.
It was another week.
On to
Next
more.
week, we'll be back. We'll be talking about Project Hail Mary. We're finally going to watch that one
Yeah,
tonight.
looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for listening, and
Have a
goodbye.
good weekend, y'all.